Fairly regularly, I need to unleash some tough love on my clients. And I had a situation that is a fairly regular one again this past week, so I thought it would be useful to talk about it here. The conversation started because we were discussing the goals that my client had. And these goals were around claiming their time, focusing their energy on the most important things, and finding balance in their life. And what was interesting about the conversation, this is not uncommon, is that they were talking about these goals as if they were very aspirational, as if they thought they were a nice thing to aim for, but they didn't really believe they would get there. They were talking about having enough time and having enough energy and finding balance as this mythical land that they weren't entirely sure existed, or maybe that they thought they could visit occasionally, but they didn't believe they could live there. This is where the tough love comes in, because finding balance so that you can show up as the best version of yourself and really claiming your time and ensuring that your energy is focused in the right things, this is not a luxury. As a leader, as an executive, this is the very basis of your job. Because you are not earning your salary or building equity because of the number of hours you spend at your desk being crazy busy. You are earning because of the results that you achieve. And this requires taking on ownership. This requires believing that you are the one person who decides how you spend your energy and how you spend your brain power. This is a critical mind shift that people have to make, but it is also a scary one. And it's scary because it takes away an excuse. Our society is so built on this notion of being busy that we have this built-in excuse that if something doesn't go well, or that if we don't get to something that's important, we get let off the hook. We get let off the hook by the people around us, and we get let off the hook by ourselves. But the reality is you do have control. You just need to do the right things to make sure that you can act in that way. So let me ask you this. If you look back over the last week, did you meet those really clear objectives? Were you able to focus your time in the right place? Did you have the right kind of balance in your life that you were able to show up as the 10 out of 10 version of yourself? And if you think about those two questions and rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you land? If you answer 8 or above, you're doing an amazing job. If your answer is lower than that, there's some work to do, because as a leader, these are critical things. These are not things that you can decide are nice to haves. They're things that you have to accomplish. So if you're struggling with this, I'd love to have a conversation with you. Let me know in the comments and we'll connect.